Is Elon the AntiChrist? Nah, he's just trying to groom one of his many sons into being the AntiChrist. But it won't work because Musk is just another weak pretender to the throne and will die in shame. Elon is a front actor, giving a visual illusion to the masses. When you think of rich multi-billionaires, you think of Elon, not some Talmudic Nosferatu. You realize that the Antichrist is gonna be someone that people will love and trust, right? Someone charismatic with a cult of personality. Probably not. The Antichrist is supposed to be someone people like, and normies have been programmed to hate him now because he allowed more free speech on Twitter. It don't take much to sway normies. It can flip back instantly if the right signal is given. It would be very underwhelming if it was Elon. I think he has yet to come, and he will appear as a divine entity claiming some kind of supernatural origin and with ethereal beauty on the outside but demonic on the inside. This beast will appear as a hero and smash the current New World Order, Whore of Babylon, and establish his solar empire. He himself will appear as a being of light, as I said before. The interesting thing is that the Antichrist of Islam will have a blind eye, and in Christianity, he will lose one in an assassination attempt, so I am starting to have an idea about who the Antichrist might be. There are multiple Antichrists, read your scripture, retards. How about no? No, he's not universally liked. Plenty of people think he's a goober. Where do you think the concept of the Antichrist comes from? I am the most racist man alive, I denounce the Talmud, and Hitler did nothing wrong. Trump is the Antichrist. A pressure release valve for angry whites that will throw them into the meat grinder once ordered to. The Antichrist will be so lovable he could spit in your face and kill your children, and you would apologize and ask why he did that and wonder how you might be able to make things right. But Anon, I can't imagine a person like that. That's why he's so powerful. Legend also says he usually talks to himself in the third person, so it's difficult to tell when he's talking about himself. Uwu. Anon, Trump barely won his first election. The Antichrist wouldn't need to run for office. He would just get on TV and say, "Kill all media spokespersons and politicians immediately," and blood would run in the streets until the rivers ran red. Trump is fucking weak. Elections are real. Anon, I love the Antichrist. Exactly my point. The Antichrist won't have to put up with the donkey and prostitute show politicians run around. What use does the king of mankind have for politics? All he will have to do is command the people to dance and they'll play along to the tune. I've been wondering about that myself. Maybe the reason Biden is sitting on his hands despite being owned by Israel too is that the plan is for Trump to take the throne again and lead the war on their behalf. Who is like the beast? Who is able to make war with the beast? Trump would only be a poor imitation in comparison to the real deal. Those fools currently in control want to fulfill the biblical prophecies themselves and make their own Antichrist, but they are of the Whore of Babylon, and their fake Antichrist will be ground to dust by the true Antichrist of the beast. Those of the Whore are only useful idiots for the beast, and the beast will tear them to shreds once they are not needed anymore. I don't know, man, I think you're underestimating how gay and retarded this world is. I bet you're onto something. That also checks out a bit. After Ragnarok it will be a one true God to fill the space. Antichrist will be very androgynous. Just is how it is. The ideal Antichrist is a Griffith-like figure that makes everyone question how straight they are. This gay and retarded world will be ended by the Antichrist. He will mislead even you and create a great imperium. In truth, though, the moment you die, his demons will immediately pull you to hell. He will appear as a sun deity like our ancestors worshipped, but his glory, imperial might, and virtue are all superficial, and in truth, he only holds us in contempt, and he is a master of illusion. Sounds kinda based. Why are we against this Antichrist? We should just burn the corpse of God in a pit and send him to Sheol, replace him with the Antichrist. God is dead, long live God. As I said, you will be misled by him. His enormous empire will appear glorious like the empires of old, but in truth, it will be rotten from the inside and will pale in comparison to the millennial kingdom of Christ. He will give you all the glory you desire and wage great wars of conquest, I'd imagine, since he is a beast, but this is just a ploy to pull the strong, the warriors, and the noble down with him. So what's the problem? Everyone is garbage anyway. We should let them kill each other. Let me say it this way. The whore of Babylon currently in power is a ploy to mislead the pathetic, the weak, the tolerant, the intellectuals and the naive, guiding them into the mouth of hell. The beast to come who will crush the whore will be a ploy to mislead the noble, the strong, the philosophers, the heroes, and the conquerors, guiding them into the mouth of hell. But this is just a ploy to pull the strong, the warriors, and the noble down with him. Is it not written, "The meek shall inherit the earth"? Why would you set yourself against the left hand of God? Was it evil for God to allow Satan to test Job? Were the things Satan did with God's forbearance to Job evil? The Antichrist is the prodigal son? Hope so. Then we can get this damned story moving along. Sending the world into hell is a blessing, not a curse. How are you fit to inherit all the good things that shall be seen on earth if you have not suffered and went through a trial of fire? Devoured through the mouth of Molech, mankind will be born again. Not through external sacrifice, but self-sacrifice. Not through forgiveness, but through overcoming evil. Blood and flesh, how can they withstand corruption? You eat the corpse of a mummer and hold on to a vestige of life when you could be made anew in truth. The Antichrist is king. I hope you are just pulling my leg. This Antichrist you praise is a ferocious beast, and he will devour you after enchanting you with his false glory. Why are you praising the beast to come for the things that the Heavenly Father bestowed on you? The beast will separate the worthy from the unworthy, and those he despises the most are the ones who chose to betray their own Creator to follow him instead, the superficial idiots whom he was able to buy with his temporary glories and honors. You can't rein a wild beast, but did you know that if you feed them and sing to them they won't harm you? I'm not ever going to follow the beast. I'm the Pied Piper. Christianity was Jewish pill-pull all along theory. That's an old one. Goebbels liked that theory. The beast to come who will crush the whore will be a ploy to mislead the noble, the strong, the philosophers, the heroes, and the conquerors, guiding them into the mouth of hell. Doesn't the Bible say that a rotten tree does not produce good fruit? So, I don't think the Antichrist will actually do anything good like casting down those who are in power now. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Revelation 17:16. It was the adversary who set up the whore in the first place, only to slay her when she lost her usefulness. The beast hates the current elite, and I can't repeat myself enough, he will devour them as soon as they aren't useful anymore. He will not produce any good fruit because he will replace the whore with his empire, which will be glorious on the surface but in truth rotten to the core. Wine is made from rotten fruit. How can whole fruit make wine? What you call evil is just goodness that you are blinded to. Good analogy actually, since the beast will just be as intoxicating as wine and will make you drunk to it and blind your senses. The beast will be but mortal man. If you say it's inevitable that he will be born, where is it safest to be? No, he's a front man. This technology has been under development for a century now by the defense establishment, and electronic stimulation of the brain traced to the 19th century. Also see Aberration in the Heartland of the Real by Wendy Painting, an essential work on the history of mind control programs in the context of an exploration of the OKC bombing. It is not well known today, but Timothy McVeigh claimed he had been subject to experiments while in the military, including being implanted with a tracking chip. This was of course widely discounted and ridiculed, yet the author obtained McVeigh's never-before-seen medical records from the military, documenting 75+ visits to military doctors and dentists for extensive medical treatments that were completely unknown to the other members of his unit. As well as his mother and his closest friends, no mention of it in letters to them. He continued to have a relationship with military doctors via VA hospitals after his release from the service, in addition to multiple visits with private doctors and dentists during this period up until shortly before the bombing. He would indicate at times before and after the bombing that he'd been recruited to some type of covert government operation. The facts bear this out. Assuming that the Antichrist is actually Satan who somehow managed to incarnate in physical form, he will be his own father. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if he sets up his own trinity in mockery of the true one. His trinity would be Thaumiel, twin gods, Gajiel, the hinderers, and Sadariel, the concealers, as opposed to the true trinity of Kether, crown, Chakamat, wisdom, and Bina, understanding. Somewhere in the wilderness, it will be safe for no one. The faithful will be killed and excluded from the order the beast will establish, but even those traitors who chose to follow the beast will not be safe, since God will curse them with both temporary immortality and endless plagues. Neen. You're getting closer but missing the mark. I'll give you a hint. The Antichrist will be a clone. Both the beast from the sea and the beast from the earth will be clones grown in artificial wombs. I read some think it is Netanyahu. Who knows? Did you ever see this Prince Charles speech from 26 Colombian pesos? He keeps referring to giving control to him but never clarifies who he is. Bless seers. This wisdom is imperative. God does not appear to mankind, because mankind can be fooled. No miracles, because they can be faked. No prophecy, because it can be forced. The true temple of God is the body. Keeping the body in health and in balance makes the Antichrist seethe. Being sound of mind and in control of yourself disarms the Antichrist. Thanks for the rec. One can smell the wrongness of OKC a mile away. I've never heard about most of what you said, and I will check out the book.
Want to share your paranormal experiences? Do you have questions, complaints, ideas for a show topic, or a hate-filled rant? Send all your messages to our email for live reading on our show. Email us at atomicshamanSweatlodge@protonmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, and be sure to check the notification bell. Follow the Atomic Shaman on Twitter at Motel and RV Park. Listen to Paranormal Greentext stories on Atomic Shaman TTS on YouTube. Catch the live streams of Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge only on Rumble.